Hello my Photoshopping friends, and thanks again for joining me in another video adventure. For this tutorial, prior knowledge of Photoshop and Illustrator will be needed. The source file needed for this tutorial will be able for download at my site, agostillo.com. I'll post the link within the description. To get started, I already pre-cooked everything here. I'm going to be running through this rather quickly, so a lot of the work is already done. I'll just go ahead and explain each steps to you rather than doing everything from scratch. First things first, you need to open up Illustrator. You take your type tool, you type in the word red, all caps. But what's important is if I click on here, you notice color is not totally black, because what we're going to be doing is playing with colorizing or a grayscale, so you can't have this pure black or pure white. I'm using a black value in my CYMK. I'm using the K value at 80%. So you set your K value at 80%, you type in your word red. After that, you go to Effect, 3D, Extrude Bevel. I'll show you my values here. If I click on this, here's my value: 59 degrees, negative 24 degree, and 90 degree. Now, your extrude depth at 15 points, you don't want it too much. And if you notice down here, to view or unview that area, you just click more options, and we're going to add our custom shading. So in a custom shading, again, CYMK value is 000, K value is 10%. Now once that's set up, you click OK, since mine's already done, and you should have something looking like this. And from here, I'll just grab and drag this over into Photoshop. But again, I already have that there, so I'm going to show you steps from there. Okay, I'm going to go uncheck all these steps. Once we got this in here, what I did from here is I basically hold on my control key and click on that layer, and it's going to fill that layer up. And then holding on the Alt key, I'm going to zoom in here using my scroll wheel. Hold on the Alt key, make sure you select the one tool, make sure you're actually on the layer. Hold on the Alt key, and we're going to subtract. All I'm doing is subtracting the face of my type, only the face. And once my face is subtracted, then I could go ahead and close that out. Okay, now once we have our selection made, your adjustment layer, we're going to choose solid color. Okay, and I'm going to add a color value of D0 3232. That's my hexadecimal value. Or if you're using CYMK, it's 12% cyan, 95 magenta, 89 yellow, and 3% black. Now once you got that, you click OK. Now you can see our graphic is starting to take shape, right? Okay, and that's basically how I got this layer. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So from here, I just changed my opacity value to 30%. Okay, and from here, what I did was add that cool red shadow, as if there is light shining through from the top of the text. How I did that was, if you hold on the Alt key, you could drag that layer down. I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. Hold on the Shift key, select the layer below it, and just merge these layers. So now I have a copy of that bottom layer. Then from here, going to Filter, Blur, Motion Blur, and at an angle of negative 47 is what you need. The distance is max, just 999. Okay, you'll select OK, and you should have something that looks like this. I made a mistake here, because if you notice, this one is a little bit faded. What I did was I didn't increase the opacity on here. So if you're going to do it, carry that all the way up, and then duplicate, and so on and so on. Here's what we got. I'm gonna go get rid of this, and after you get that blur action going, what I did from here is I just added a layer mask from the bottom right here onto my my blur area. And once I add my layer mask on there, I go back to my original font, which is this. I select that, and I mask away the areas that I don't want affected by that blurred layer. And so you mask that out, deselect, then you grab your brush, and you just paint away black. And make sure you're using a soft brush. Make sure you're on the mask, and just paint away the areas that you don't want to show up. Like in here, for instance, I'll just get rid of that. Okay, now if you you could go ahead and duplicate that layer, and you could also add even more shadowy effect to this. If you could play with the opacity. I like to just a personal taste, but if my light source is here, you want to keep this layer a little bit lighter than this area. Okay, it makes it a little bit more believable. And all I did was just duplicate this layer, the mask out area. These are the areas that I don't want affected by this blurred area. In order for me to do that, I just hold on the Control key and select these pieces. Hold on the Shift key. You could select as many pieces to this as you wish. Undo that. I hope that made sense to you guys. Now we're moving on to our next step. That is to bring in our type layer. Go back to Illustrator. Again, we're just gonna type in the word type. Typing type. These are all lower cases. The difference with type is the gray value. Now we want our face to be 20. We use the same exact values on the angle, the 3D angle, which is 59 degree, negative 24, and 9 degree. The extrude is 15. Again, if you're not seeing this lower part, you just click where it says more options. Our shade and color is black. Okay, so we got our shading value is black. Everything else remains the same. Once you're done, you're gonna drag this over in